guys. So here we go. Here's some more help for you on the Delta Math. Again, this is on the Unit 7 sections of Delta Math where we were dealing with graphing circles and parabolas. In this situation, I'm going to be helping you guys with the questions where it's asking us to write the equation. Now, for all of these problems, they're going to give you a focus, they're going to give you a directrix, and from that we can write the equation. Now, the way we're going to do it is a little bit different than how we did it back in school, because there's a more efficient way, and I wanted to show you now. They always start by giving you a focus and giving you a directrix. Now what we want to start off with is let's just graph that, because it's giving us some information that's going to help us, right? So let's take this color. We're going to graph the focus. The focus is 7, 3. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3. That point right there, that's our focus. Our directrix, let's go with this, is x equals -3. So we go x equals -3 is 1, 2, 3. That's where x is -3. Again, keep in mind the directrix, that's a line, right? So we're just going to go, since it's x equals, it's vertical, that would be the line for your directrix. From that right there, we can write our equation, but there's one thing that we need to find. The biggest thing that we need to find when we're going through and we are doing these problems is we need to find what's the vertex, right? If we can find the vertex, then we can actually really go through and write the equations pretty quick. So what we know is the vertex is right in the middle of the focus and the directrix. So it splits them in half perfectly. So if our focus is to the right 7, our directrix is to the left 3. That's a total, now I'm going to draw this, but you shouldn't. That's a total of 10 units, right? That's a distance of 10, which means to split those perfectly in half, we're just going to go 5 away from each of them, because that would give us the exact middle point. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That right there should split them in half. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the directrix, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to the focus. That point right there, that's going to be our vertex. Hold on, sorry, let me go back. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's right there. Right? That's where our vertex is. Now, make sure when you're doing this, you keep it in line with the focus. Like, we're not going to go 5 away from the direction and say our vertex is down there, because now it's 5 away from the directrix, but a lot more than 5 from the focus. Keep it in line with the focus, no matter if it's vertical or if it's a graph like this, or if our focus and directrix were the other way. Just always keep them in line. That's where our vertex is, so what we're going to do is we're just going to write what that coordinate point is. That's at 2, 3. So what we know is our vertex is 2, 3. And really from that, we can start writing our equation. The easiest way to go about doing this is first, determine which way does this graph open. If our focus is to the right of the vertex like that, our directrix is to the left, that means our parabola opens to the right or to the left. It doesn't have to be perfect. Since it opens to the right or the left, it's an x equals equation, right? I'm going to say opens right. That's x equals. Another thing to check, since our directrix is x equals, that means our equation needs to start as x equals. After that, we're just adding in the vertex. Now, since we have x equals as our starting point, that means in our parentheses for this piece of our equation, it has to be a y. We already used the x, so now we put the y in. And from this, we're adding in our equation. So if our vertex is +3 for the y, we're going to write -3, because we do the opposite when it's in the parentheses with the squared, right? That's going to make us go get that up 3 that this is telling us to do right there. To make us go +2 for the x, we just add 2 on the end, right? That makes us go to the right 2, which is exactly what we need. Right 2, up 3. Now, we're almost done with our equation. The last thing that we need to do is we need to figure out what sits out in front of our parentheses. The easiest way to remember that is when we're going through and we're doing these parabolas, we always had this 1 over 4c sitting out in front of our equations. All we need to do is figure out what is c. Now, if you remember, going through and doing the graphs, c is the distance between the focus and vertex. So, we just need to figure out how far is this distance here from the vertex to the focus. We already know that the total distance is 10. Half of that is 5. So that means c equals 5. That's the distance between the vertex and the focus. So what you're going to do is just plug in 5. So 4 times 5, that gives us 20. So that fraction out in front is going to be 1 over 20. So I'm just going to go down here, finish off our equation. We have x equals 1 over 20 y minus 3 squared plus 2. That's your final equation. Now say the only thing that was different was we got all of the same information, but our parabola opens up to the left instead, right? Then you just add a negative, right? That's the only way you can change it there. And the other way they can change that, again, is say instead of it being a parabola that opens right or left, it opens up or down like that. Then instead of our equation starting as x equals, we're going to start with y equals, and in our parentheses it's going to be x plus or minus something squared. You can do that for any of these equations. Now, again, all you need to do is start by graphing the focus, graphing the directrix, which then allows you to find the vertex. Hopefully that helps you guys out. If you have any other questions, feel free to let me know.